How is it going, YouTube? Today we have a new character, and generally I try to make a comedy bit about it. I'm not gonna lie to that, guys. Today, the joke is me. Just not feeling it today. I mean, pretty easy to make some wood jokes about, you know, the first male 3-star that isn't a mecha, or the fact that the first male is still a lolly. We need to get serious. The real joke here is the unit itself. So with that said, we're gonna try this one a little bit more serious today. Let's get into it. Alright, we have Golem Rider Alef. Now, I'm gonna break it down like this. I'm just gonna call him Elf, because let's be honest, that's what they're going for here. So Elf boy here is a 3-star warrior in the Earth class. So a basic breakdown of his kit is that his normal attack is a smash on Earth and inflicts damage with the shockwave. He chains off of airborne, drops boulders on enemies to inflict 360% of DPS, guys. That's pretty strong. And special ability on hit defense increases by 40% for 4 seconds. Also pretty strong. And party skill here is range defense plus 70%. That's an amazing party skill. Weapon skill regen and skill attack percentage. Now here are his actual slots. And guys, if you think that these numbers are impressive, you are fooling yourself. Let me put up the comparison for you here. Alef's 610 attack falls at 30th in the game, including 1-star units. That is dead middle of the pack, guys. 30 is the actual middle of this game at this point. There are 64 heroes, so 32 is a dead center, guys. 610 attack is not impressive for a warrior class. His HP at almost 19,000 puts him at 57th of 62, guys. His defensive stats of 132 puts him at 129th, right around the 50% mark again, guys. He does not come with crit. His damage reduction at 10 puts him right at around 42nd, and he doesn't bring any healing. So when you're looking at Elf, you are looking at 2 things and 2 things alone. There are only 2 things that you want when you look at Elf boy here, and that is his on-hit defense increases by 40% for 4 seconds, which we can actually look at what it changes him to. Let's take a look at that. If we were to give him an extra, what, 40% it was? Yeah, an extra 40% increase here. So we'll do equals this number times 1.4 equals wait 4. That moves him into 8th place in the game as a base unit. So his chains, or his special ability, has to be awakened for him to be viable. So you absolutely have to have that awakening done for him to even be relevant as a frontliner in this game, especially since his attack is so freakishly low, guys. The only other thing that you're truly into him for is this range defense plus 70%. Now guys, that in itself is a pretty good statistic, especially if you're running him straight into a composition of Nari or a lot of dark comps. There is a lot of ranged attack DPS outside of Akayuki and Eugene. This is basically exclusively counteracting defensives. So this alone is the only thing you are buying him for. We can take a look at his weapons here and see if it changes anything drastically. Auroras. So the first breakdown that we're going to be looking at here is we're going to increase his base statistics by 30. So we're going to get from 132 to 162, correct? Nice. Then we're going to give him his an 8 plus 24%. So we're going to do 162 times 1.24. So now he's at 200, guys. And we're going to then occasionally break him up by an additional 140%. So let's take the 162 and times it by 1.4, 226. Actually, let's not do 0.14. Let's just do 0.4 here. That'll show us what we need to increase the initial here by. Oh, not times. Let's do a plus. Let's not be idiots about this, right? So we're looking at 265.68 defense when all modifiers in. That brings his grand total to second. He still falls behind someone at base with all of these statistics into place. So even if you are to be getting ooh, actually, okay, let's change that real quick. We realized how dumb we are, right guys? Right, 120. Ooh, that does change everything, doesn't it? So that would still put him at second. And who does that put him second behind? You girl Marina. Let's be honest. We all know it. She's a tank and a half here. And that is with all modifiers in place on him. So what does that mean? It means that his exclusive weapon is absolutely necessary to be running him, guys. If you are not getting his exclusive weapon with him, I would not be rolling for him whatsoever. This range defense of plus 70% is good, but without that exclusive item, guys, you simply aren't going to get enough bang for your buck out of him. Now, the one thing that we do need to talk about is that he has a 40% chance of inflicting an additional 40% DPS. Okay, guys, let's go ahead and break into that. We have a 40% chance of increasing his attack by 40%. Let's go ahead and grab 40% of this attack here. So we're going to do 610 times 0.4, 244, and we have a 40% chance of increasing it by this. So let's just go ahead and average that out across every single attack times 0.4. So we can go ahead and assume that he's going to get an additional 97.6 damage here, guys. So let's just, for the sake of doing this on video, add it to the 610 here. 707.6. 707.6 puts him at 12th. So he is at the mid-range of DPS units if you have his weapon, if you have it at max, if you're using him effectively. The skill hit chance plus 8% is fairly viable, but all in all, guys, he is a whatever burger as a unit, unless you are getting this new equipment item to go with him. So you're looking at very significant investment. Now, truth be told, if you do have all of this, if you do max him out, he can be very viable in the current meta, but this is a hard pass for me, guys. It is too costly to really advise you guys to push this into it. You're going to be perfectly fine just using Craig as a tanker, and really, if you wanted to throw someone like Marvin in there with them, it's a pretty comparable jump in valuation. He's gonna increase your party's HP by 38%, guys. All in all, that isn't as viable as the range defense plus 70%, but for the budget option, for the fact that you don't have to get an exclusive weapon to go with him to make him more viable, Marvin is incredibly strong. And as you can see, guys, if you are looking at his weapon here, when hit by enemies, your rage explodes with 20% chance to inflict 50% of DPS damage to enemies, 1 second cooldown. If you want to say that Elf Boy is the buffed up version of Marvin, you can, and frankly, guys, Marvin is a very niche unit as it is. So Elf Boy here, he's a hard pass for me. I'm not going to recommend you guys go for him. And that's our series breakdown. Let me know in the comments if you like this take more than the comedic take, where we can do a hybrid of both in the future. Take care, guys. Peace.